Hey guys, Vlad here from Level Up Gaming and Tech, and this is our AMD build guide for 2019. This video is not sponsored in any way, this is just our recommendation for the best balanced systems we could put together that are not that heavy on your wallet and yet offer best bang for the buck. Builds are divided into low, mid and high range. Let's start with the low end, where prices range from $550 to $650. For the CPU we have AMD Ryzen 3 2200G processor with box cooler. Our motherboard of choice is GIGABYTE B450 AORUS M, paired with 8GB of RAM from Team Vulkan. For the GPU we got GIGABYTE Radeon RX 570 with 4GB of VRAM. For the SSD we have ADATA Ultimate SU650 model with 480GB used for systems, programs and maybe even some games. Pair that with Seagate Barracuda 1TB hard drive. All that stuff goes into Corsair Carbide Spec 04 case, powered by Corsair RMX 2018 550W 80 plus gold rated PSU. And this will cost you $557. This PC can easily handle Apex Legends, Fortnite, PUBG, CSGO, Dota 2, Overwatch and similar games. Alternative to previous build, but with some changes, you can get Ryzen 5 2400G with box cooler, same RAM and motherboard choice, but for the GPU we have Zotac GTX 1050 Ti Mini. Storage options remain the same with the case, but this time it is powered by EVGA B3 550W 80 plus bronze power supply. And this build will cost you around $649. Time for the mid-range builds. We have Ryzen 5 2600 CPU paired with box cooler, MSI Tomahawk B450 motherboard with G.Skill Aegis 16GB dual channel RAM. For the GPU we chose Asus ROG Strix Radeon RX 580 with 8GB of VRAM. For the system drive we chose the SSD from ADATA and it is their SU655 model. For the hard drive we have Seagate Barracuda 1TB drive. All that goes into the Corsair's Carbide Spec 06 case and powered by Corsair's CX 650W power supply. And this build will cost you $756. For the alternative build you can get Ryzen 5 2600X, and this CPU is fantastic for gaming and streaming. Cooled by HyperX 212 Black Edition cooler from Cooler Master. For the motherboard we chose GIGABYTE B450 AORUS Elite with Team Vulkan dual channel kit of 16GB clocked at 3000 MHz. For the GPU we have the amazing Zotac 1660 Ti 6GB GPU, which is great for gaming on 1080p resolution. For those games to load faster we got Crucial MX 500GB solid state drive paired with Seagate Barracuda 1TB hard drive. And all those components will go into the Fantex P350X, which has a nice discrete RGB lighting in the front and powered by EVGA G3 650W power supply. And this PC got our best buy recommendation tag with a great price of $850. You can play almost all modern games on ultra settings on this build. The games such as Rainbow Six Siege, Battlefield 5, GTA 5, The Division 2 and many more. For the high-end system we have AMD Ryzen 7 2700 cooled with fantastic BEQUIET Dark Rock 4 cooler. We chose GIGABYTE X470 AORUS Ultra Gaming motherboard with G.Skill FlareX memory clocked at 3200 MHz frequency. Games comes to life thanks to GIGABYTE GeForce RTX 2070 8GB model. For the system drive we chose Samsung 970 EVO NVMe SSD 500GB model. Since this is a high-end system we need a little bit more space for the games and we chose Seagate Barracuda 2TB hard drive. Choice for the case fell down to the amazing NZXT H500 case. And for the power supply we have the amazing EVGA G3 750W power supply. This PC will cost you roughly $1,560. If you require something even better, we have Ryzen 7 2700X CPU cooled by NZXT Kraken X62 AIO liquid cooler. With an amazing MSI X470 Pro Carbon motherboard, which will give your components stability and safe place to install 16GB dual channel kit of G.Skill FlareX memory. For the GPU we chose Zotac GeForce RTX 2080, which helps push those FPS numbers high, even on higher resolutions such as 1440p and even on 4K. Now, storage, case and PSU options remains the same, but this 100% certified beast will cost you around $1,750, which is totally acceptable considering this is an amazing machine. This PC will handle all new games at higher resolutions such as an Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Metro Exodus, Monster Hunter World, Shadow the Tomb Raider and many more new games. And that is not all, we have the overkill AMD build too. For the price of nearly $3,000, you can have AMD Threadripper 2950X, cooled by Cooler Master's WRAITH Ripper Cooler. Motherboard that supports this untamed beast is MSI X399 Gaming Pro Carbon AC. For the memory we chose G.Skill Trident Z RGB 32GB of memory. Asus GeForce RTX 2080 Ti ROG Strix is here to ensure that you have the highest possible FPS scores in games. For the SSD we chose Samsung 970 EVO Plus 1TB solid state drive and Seagate IronWolf 4TB hard drive. For the case we chose Fantex N2 Lux tempered glass case. For the power supply we have an EVGA Supernova G3 1000W 80 Plus Gold certified power supply. As with all our previous builds, this build also have an alternative and it comes in the shape of AMD Threadripper 2970WX. Cooled with NZXT Kraken X62 Revision 2 AIO cooler. For the motherboard we chose GIGABYTE X399 Designaire EX. For the RAM we chose Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro 32GB. The rest of the parts remains the same as in the previous build. And this PC will cost you around $365. This PC will literally handle everything you throw at it. You think differently? Then watch our next Intel Edition build guide video. Thank you for watching. If you have some questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, leave a like if you like what you saw, subscribe and press that bell icon to get notifications from us.